Just line the border fires and the humming wires. Yeah, man, you know you're never coming back. Across the square, across the bridge, past the mills, past the stacks. On a gathering storm comes a tall, handsome man in a dusty black coat with a red right hand.
Hey, what's up? I'm Troy, and this is the Comics Code Atrocity. And today I want to talk to you about the Red Hulk. Now, he's about to be making his first MCU debut in Captain America Brave New World, as we saw in the trailer that dropped today. And I'm sure the internet is just chock full of everyone telling you exactly who the Red Hulk is. His mystery is that I want to tell you not just who he is and what that might mean for the movie, but I want to tell you what it was like as a reader. The mystery is important because as a reader in 2008, you didn't know the identity of the Red Hulk.
What do you gotta do to get comics around this place?
We have read Planet Hulk and then World War Hulk, two of the greatest Hulk storylines of all time.
Earth hate Hulk. Earth loves Hulk. They love you.
Well, you sit and wonder, like, how are they going to follow that up? Well, they hire Jeff Loeb, one of the greatest comic book writers of all time, and Ed McGuinness, one of the greatest comic book illustrators of all time. And they tell us a murder mystery of a new Hulk, a Red Hulk. And this mystery lasts for 2 years. No one in the Marvel Comics universe or in the real universe, us, the reader, knows the identity of the Red Hulk for 2 years. So I think that it's important to explain how that story kind of unfolded and what that might mean for the movie.
Your attention, please. An episode. Hey, your attention, please.
The first issue of the Hulk, the new Hulk, volume 2 of the Hulk, technically. You have She-Hulk, Iron Man, General Ross, and a few other people walking through a crime scene of the Hulk murdering Abomination. And it wasn't just that he was a savage and he went too far. No, he pulled out a Hulk-sized gun and killed his enemy in cold blood.
Stand aside. T-Rex is going extinct for real.
You know pretty fast that it's not Bruce Banner. He didn't come back after the events of World War Hulk, as he's sitting in a jail cell somewhere. So who is the Hulk? For the first story arc, you have a bunch of different heroes trying to figure it out, because in their book, he's a villain. He killed someone in cold blood. And what we see as the readers is the Red Hulk trying to sweep up his crime. Anyone who might know his identity has to be taken out immediately. And as he's going, he's also killing some of the Hulk's other villains like the Wendigo. So it's really interesting because he kind of starts out as an anti-hero. And yeah, he does step into the shoes of a villain because he fights a lot of the heroes, but he never kills any of them.
Chief, you know that's your car, right?
So as we, the readers, get like all these different hints on who he might be, it's really fun. It was really fun finding out, like, oh, actually he works for the military. We know that, it's a hint, but he swept up, how that might be found immediately. It was really, really fun reading that. And after the first story arc, you actually get this amazing fight, finally, between the Red Hulk and Bruce Banner, the Green Hulk. And it is amazing. Actually, the issue starts off with Uatu, the Watcher, talking about how there's these events that are absolutely amazing, and the Red Hulk punches him and is like, I'm gonna take out this giant baby. Like, that's how absolutely insane they built this fight up, that it was finally, for the first time, the Hulk was going to fight his equal. As it wasn't just another monster, it wasn't another version of the Hulk, it wasn't just another enemy. It was a military trained expert that has been studying the Hulk his entire life to become the perfect version of what Bruce Banner has essentially thrown away his entire life and wanted to get rid of.
He was a freak accident. The goal is to do it better.
It was super fun. It was honestly really, really fun. There's a lot of great story arcs in there that I would want you to read, because for 2 years, 2008, 2009, 2010, you had 23 issues of not knowing who the Hulk is. The Red Hulk, or the Rolk, as they called him. It's terrible. I don't like it. No one liked it. Eventually, though, Betty Ross, Red She-Hulk, takes him down. And as she's showing him out, she finds out... Spoiler. I feel like I need to try to preserve anyone who might not know this. I don't know how the story's going to go in the movie, and I would hate to be the person that actually ruins what might be a really interesting surprise. Alright, spoiler over. She's choking out her own father, Thaddeus Ross. General Ross, arguably the first villain of Bruce Banner. There were so many times that you think it might be General Ross while reading the story, but they do a good job of saying, well, it can't be him because now he's here. But then you find out it's a life model decoy, all that comic book stuff.
You have reached the life model decoy of Tony Stark. Please leave a message.
I thought, whoa, this is insane. This is so cool. How did they get rid of the mustache? And that's the story. It basically goes from that Hulk number 1 to Hulk number 23. They do continue the story afterwards, but Jeff Loeb has left, and that's what I would consider the Red Hulk saga.
That's my secret, Cap. I'm always angry.
But what does this mean for Captain America: Brave New World? First off, why is he in a Captain America movie? Is probably the question so many of us have asked out loud when we found out that he was even going to be in it. But I am here to tell you that it does make sense, weirdly, alright? I didn't really fully explain the last arc. There's this 2-part finale where he basically explains why he became the Red Hulk. And there were the obvious reasons that he wanted to protect his daughter and he wanted to be a hero and blah blah blah. But one of the ultimate reasons was because of the events that happened in Civil War.
What would you call a group of US-based, enhanced individuals who routinely ignore sovereign borders and inflict their will wherever they choose, and who, frankly, seem unconcerned about what they leave behind?
The comic book version, not the MCU version. See, at the end of Civil War, Steve Rogers dies. He's killed. And it spawns all this crazy stuff that happens in the Captain America run. But Thaddeus Ross always respected Captain America. Again, in the comics, not really the MCU version. And when he saw Captain America die, he felt that the country was ultimately powerless. And so he kind of teamed up with MODOK Samson and the Leader, a longtime Hulk villain that's also in Captain America: Brave New World.
The Hulk is my creation! His power must be mine. This misbegotten experiment shall never happen by order of the Leader!
And he felt that he was a perfect candidate to take on the radiation that was at the end of World War Hulk that was removed from Bruce Banner, and he put it into himself using the help of these villains because he wanted to fill the hole that Steve Rogers left behind.
Maybe Captain America, but you're not Steve Rogers.
Do you get what I'm saying? If they continue with that motivation in the movie, it makes sense that he would appear in this version of the MCU that doesn't have a Steve Rogers anymore. On top of that, I do want to say that in that run, there was this overall plot from the Leader that wanted to instill General Ross as the president of the United States and sort of use that to take over the country. In the Captain America: Brave New World, who's the president? General Ross. I think they're going to have some version of the story where Leader made General Ross the Red Hulk because of the lack of Steve Rogers, and then there's some other plot that the Leader is basically using him to take over the world through his position as the President of the United States. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't very excited for it, but the trailer looks pretty cool. I don't hate Sam Wilson as Captain America, but he ain't no Steve Rogers. But I think that Red Hulk's appearance and Leader's appearance in this movie, if they follow the comic books, is going to be a lot better than what I think a lot of people are expecting.
Most of the intelligence community doesn't believe he exists. The ones that do call him the Winter Soldier.
And there is one more thing I do want to say about the movie. It reminds me a lot of Winter Soldier for more reasons than one. Yes, it's a political thriller, and I'm all for all that. But when Winter Soldier came out in theaters, there was this bit mystery in marketing and the way the story is told in the movie as to who is the Winter Soldier. Much like the comic books, drag out for a while the mystery of who is the Winter Soldier. And when it is told that it is Bucky Barnes, it's a giant reveal.
Who the hell is Bucky?
And it sucks that everyone went into that movie already knowing Bucky Barnes was the Winter Soldier. And I just kind of hope that the movie doesn't drag out who the Red Hulk is. Like I told you, I think that the mystery of it was absolutely amazing when you're reading the comics, but today's day and age, there's no way people aren't going to know who the Red Hulk is before they go see that movie. And that kind of sucks. But at the same time, if they're good storytellers, they're going to take that into account. So I am pleasantly optimistic by that trailer, and I'm looking forward to see how they tell this version of the Red Hulk, because it ain't going to be anything like what we read in the comics. Alright, thank you all for listening. I'll catch you next time.